Hello and welcome back to part number 4 of Battle for Victory here at Scarborough Athletic, and we have played one game since the last episode and we told you we were going to, it was the Spennymoor game and we won 3-1. Now, which yesterday there was something I was going to show in this game. We went 1-0 down to, it was Taberner's goal actually that I was going to show you. We'll just show you the highlights of it anyway because, like I say, it was only the one game. Taberner's goal here, the ball will come back into him, I think. No, there goes the shot and I'm not even sure what happened. It was such a weird goal to concede. And then Ayari got one here, nipping in to poke past the goalkeeper on 53 minutes. After, well, 2 minutes later, Bramwell won the ball back inside left channel into the box towards the byline, pulls it back to Ayari, who has a simple job of tapping home. That was 2-1 on 55. And then on 72, Ayari onto the through ball, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and he just dinks it over the Spennymoor goalkeeper. It means we won the game 3-1. Good comeback victory as well. Dominated for the most part. 4.29 XG as well. So absolutely fantastic there. And we are back, as we said, for the games against Leamington, Kings Lynn, Gloucester and Chester the whole month of November. And we'll show highlights of the FA Trophy second round game as well. Right then, without further ado, let's get into it. We take on Leamington in the first game of the episode, 1st of November. It is 8 o'clock in the evening. It's a night game under the lights in Leamington. They are currently in 26 points from 16 games. We have 34 from 16. Things looking very, very smoothly. There was one other thing I was going to show you. Our performance reviews from the board, from the supporters, and then the squad dynamics update just at this early point in the season. A+ on the club vision and culture, C on the matches, B- on the transfers, B- on the tactics, B- on the squad. Concerned by the number of goals that we concede playing the gegenpress style, which is part of the reason why we changed it around a little bit as well. In terms of the supporters, A for the club vision and culture, C+ for the matches, C+ for the transfers, B- for the tactics. Concerned by the number of goals that we concede in, I presume this is the gegenpress one, but I don't think it is. Not judging by that, it looks possibly that they're unhappy with something. And C for the squad. I'm A+ overall for both. Thought we'd be better for the squad. Thought we got a decent looking squad. And as for the dynamics, we have average managerial support. Dressing room atmosphere is very good. Coulson is the team leader. No highly influential players, and a number of influential players: Joe Cracknell, Ryan Watson, Maloney, Bailey Goodat, Lucas Colville, Will Thornton, Kieran Glynn, and Louis Lang. So let's go do it. First game of the episode, straight into it today with Cracknell in goal. Petrovic, Thornton, Lang and Weleji across the back. Hill and Maloney sat in front of them. Bramwell on the left, Ayari on the right, and Glynn playing just behind Tyrese on Yeka. And I'm going to bring back in a player that hasn't seen a lot of action recently, and that is Jake Charles on the bench. And we'll just make one other change, bring in a fullback. Burton will come in on the bench. And let's get into it. Leamington away. Real tests today of how good we are. 6th place Leamington. Let's go do a job. And it is 1-0 to Leamington. I've left commentary only on as I was trying to race through the game yesterday. Turned onto the ball through and he beats the goalkeeper from just inside the box. Leamington 1, Scarborough 0, and I will change that straight back to key highlights. I was trying to race through that Spennymoor game yesterday and obviously completely forgot to change it back to key highlights. And we need to really try and turn this around now. Not a great start for us. Playing the formation that means we don't concede many goals. And could we concede a second here as Mace heads it over the bar from just inside the box? And again, like I say, Leamington started off better here. And with Kings Lynn winning in their game against Fylde, it's going to get really, really tight at the top of the table. Lang looks forward to us on Onyeka. Great touch for him to take away from his man. Out to Ayari on this right hand side. Comes in field now. Into Glynn. Is he onside? I think he is onside. And what a clearance from Mace. Keeping the ball out. It looked all but a goal. Apart from Mace, who managed to keep it out. And it remains 1-0 here. Maloney out to Weleji. Has a lot of space on that right hand side. Runs over halfway into the Leamington half now. No man really with him as the defender tries to get back. Weleji will get the crossing. Bramwell goes up for the header and it grazes the top of the bar over. It's the first real good chance we've had since that chip from Kieran Glynn, which for all the world looked like it was going to hit the back of the net if it wasn't for the Leamington defender. That flick on is going to be picked up by one of our boys. Yes, it is. Louis Lang does pick it up and he'll look long for Ayari. Meredith wins that header. Clark can bring it down in the centre of the pitch. Ball over the top. No one's reacted and Walker gets there first. and Leamington to seal all 3 points here. And a mistake between the goalkeeper and defender, and Leamington lead by 2-0. Walker getting the second. And it's really, really poor. Boyle fired up to ARE. Meredith won it. Clark took it down. Fires it over the top, and no one reacts. Whether the goalkeeper, the defender's just caught out a little bit. And Walker gets there, scores the goal. 2-0 to Leamington. And that should be the game done and dusted. Full time here. Defeat away at Leamington. It was always going to be a tough game, but the early goal probably really killed us off there. Turner getting that early goal, and then Walker capitalising on a mistake between the defenders and the goalkeeper. A bit of miscommunication there, and it means that we go down 2-0 defeat. We're on top for the majority of the game. Leamington only produced a 0.59 XG, which shows that really their chances weren't there for the taking, but they did it with both. And we lose the first game of this episode, and that is a disappointing way to start. So, things have changed slightly. The game against Curzon Ashton in the FA Trophy second round has been moved to the end of the month. Chester has been brought forward to the 22nd, which means that we'll just show the original 4 games that we were going to before we started today. I thought the FA Trophy was going to be in the middle. It's not. It's now at the end. So 4 games, as we said. Kings Lynn are next up. They are second in the league table, and it could possibly be the first time we drop off the first spot since about the 5th game of the season. Midway through this first half here, and nothing happened up until now. We are dominating in terms of the stats. Kings Lynn have provided nothing as yet. And I think that's the one thing that has been impressive. So far this season, we have looked the dominant team in a lot of games. Even the games we haven't won, we have looked like the dominant side. And that only bodes well as Kelly gets in behind. Looks for Coulson, who touches it home. He was behind the defender. He gets his 11th of the season, Michael Coulson. And what a time to take the lead. Midway through the first half, it's 1-0. A ball down that right channel for Jake Kelly, to get onto, and he does just that inside right channel, gets there first. His ball first time across to Coulson, who was beyond the defender and just slots it in from about 3 yards out. Scarborough 1, Kings Lynn Town 0. Maloney with this free kick looks towards the far post, headed away, and who's going to get there first is Ponticelli. Ponticelli can bring it away now. He's got no one with him, but he's going a long way here without the challenge going in. Someone's got to make the challenge now, and he's allowed to give the ball back to Barkers. Ball over the top for Hargreaves, who's in behind, and it starts again. Hargreaves gets the goal. It is 1-1, and Joe Cracknell, what are you doing, son? What are you doing? Ball went back to Barkers. There's no way he should have been allowed to run that far. Ball up top for Hargreaves. Gets there first, and oh no. Kings Lynn score with their first shot on target, and I don't know whether a new goalkeeper is something we need to look at. I'd like to think that it's not the fact that the goalkeeper's that bad, but he's made a few of these now where it's just kind of worrying. As Coulson now puts it through to Charles, takes it away from his defender. He's a bit wide, hits the shot, and Jones gets down and saves it. The thing is, I haven't seen many of the opposition goalkeepers make those mistakes, which is the thing that really worries me, is that it just seems to be our goalkeeper that's making them. So we have a little bit of wage budget. Maybe a first choice goalkeeper is the route we go down at the moment. Charles, with his back to goal, gives it into Lee now. Lee looks forward for Coulson, who's in behind, and Coulson scores his 12th of the season. Great play, great through ball. Michael Coulson finds the back of the net, beats the Kings Lynn goalkeeper, and Scarborough Athletic lead by 2-0. Lee and Charles playing amongst themselves there. Charles back into Lee, and this ball is exquisite for Coulson to get onto. First time shot, beats the goalkeeper. It's 2-1. Gouda. Plenty of time and space now as he comes over halfway. Looks at that ball over the top. He's in behind the defence. He's into the box. He's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper in the tight angle. And Jones makes a save. And it was very close to going over the line. But still 2-1. Still restricted to Kings Lynn to not an awful lot. And the only worry is that the only shot on target they've had, they scored. And that does worry me a little bit. I'll be completely honest. As Hill goes into Maloney and Lovett brings him down. And that is going to be a second yellow for Lovett. Adam Lovett is sent off with 15 minutes to play. And hopefully we can capitalise on this now as ball goes in towards Lee. Headed away. Bramwell picks it back up now. Goes past his man to the byline. And it's cleared away. And Ponticelli can bring it away once again. Allowed to run. Hopefully this isn't a carbon copy of their first goal. Lee makes a good challenge there. And gives it into Bailey Gouda. He can bring it up now. Looks to bring it over halfway. Gives it to Maloney. Into Coulson now on this near side. Coulson coming in field. To Bramwell, and it finds Bramwell. Mistake by the defender. Bramwell's through 1-on-1, and Jones makes another good save there, and he quickly fires it upfield, but it should be dealt with by our defence. And it, like I say, it remains 2-1 here. There is 7.5 minutes plus stoppage time to play. as Coulson will look long for Charles, and it's a pretty poor ball, and Coulson in their defence, poor header, and Bramwell can pick it up on the left hand side into the box, pulls back for Jake Charles, and he fires it straight at the goalkeeper. And we've had plenty of opportunities to win this game, or seal this game, sorry, and it's just not happening for us now as that cross is cleared away. Maloney can nip in and win the ball back. Ball over the top for Charles, takes it down, scores. Is he onside? It looks like he is. Jake Charles makes it 3-1, and just that relentless pressure here at the end means that we get that third goal, and with 6.5 minutes to play, Scarborough Athletic 3, Kings Lynn Town 1. Maloney did brilliantly there into Colville. He just chips it over for Jake Charles. Great touch, great finish, and Scarborough Athletic lead by 3-1, and it could be 3 points against second in the league. And what a way to bounce back from that defeat against Leamington last time out. Will give us a 4-point lead at the top of the table, and if we could beat Chester in the final game of today's episode, we will be on to something for sure here, as Lockett goes back to Akeu. Ball fired in long, and it's won by Williams. Burton now looking to go past his man, under a little bit of pressure now, has to turn back, gives it to Williams. Lee into Bramwell, who has space now. Into lovely ball around the corner to Charles there. Tackle goes in Coulson. He'll find Charles with that ball there. Right, it's a challenge. Jake Charles is through. Good chance for Jake Charles, and he puts it wide of the post. What a performance. Scarborough Athletic 3, Kings Lynn Town 1. Michael Coulson opened the scoring on 25 minutes with a tap in from inside the 6-yard box after Jake Kelly breached the back line, got in behind, put the ball across. Hargreaves scored after what looked like a bit of a mistake from the goalkeeper. Coulson then got his second just on half time, and Jake Charles sealed it on 84 minutes. Great performance all round. Just the fullback struggled really in terms of the numbers. Jake Kelly got a 7.9 before coming off. Hill got a 6.9 in the time he was on the pitch. Hassan Ayari got a 7. Coulson, Bramwell and Colville all averaging above a 7 as well. Coulson averaging an 8.7. Top player on the pitch. And what a performance. We beat second in the league, and we thoroughly deserved to as well. We restricted them to absolutely nothing, and we are a good side at home. We're a good side full stop, and hopefully that can continue. Time to do it again in what is arguably, and I'll eat my words with this one, I know I will, the easiest game of this episode. We take on Gloucester, who are mid-table. Cracknose in goal. Petrovic, Thornton, Waleji and Kelly across the back. Ward and Hill are the two defensive midfielders. Terror on the left, Plant on the right, and Glynn plays behind Onyeka. And we've made a lot of changes to the squad today, keeping some players fresh. It was 3 days after that victory over Kings Lynn. We have a little bit of a break after this as well. I didn't see the dates when I was looking at the schedule, but we have 11 days off after this now. So the players that played at Kings Lynn are probably going to be the players that play at Chester, and the hope is that the 11 days off will keep them really fresh for that game against Chester. But let's get into it. It's Gloucester, and let's go win. And like I say, Gloucester are in 11th mid-table side. It would on paper look like the easiest of our 4 games today, and let's go do that. Let's go and prove it's the easiest game by winning it and getting another 3 points and surging up the table. Well, say surge up the table, extending our lead hopefully at the top of the table. Hill to take this corner kick in swinger, headed away. Who's going to be able to pick that up first? It's going to be Evans now for Gloucester, bringing it forward. But Plant nips in, wins the ball back, gives it back to Petrovic. Petrovic now dwells on it a little bit and then gives it infield to Thornton, receives it back under a little bit of pressure as Gloucester's on to push us further back. That ball is poor, and Evans can collect it on this left-hand side here. Gives it back to the goalkeeper, and he can fire it long. Poor from us there, as we got the ball and didn't really know what to do with it. And I suppose maybe that would be the problem with the much changed side here, especially the team that won over Kings Lynn. As that ball looks through from McClure. McClure from distance. Matt McClure makes it 1-0. What a strike it was. I mean, should the goalkeeper have done better? Ball into McClure. Great touch into Spence. Spence gives it back to him here. Touches away from the defender. It's a long way out. It's not in the corner. Oh, I don't know. I had a look for goalkeepers between games, but there's no goalkeepers that would walk straight in as a first choice goalkeepers. Plant tries to put the ball across. It's cleared away. And it is such a worrying thing because at the moment it seems like every shot the opposition are having is finding the back of the net if it's on target. If that ball goes into Glynn, it's going to be a penalty kick, and we have a chance 3 minutes after going a goal down to get back on level terms, and it is going to be centre-back Will Thornton taking it. Bit of a surprise, and he hits the woodwork, but he puts in the rebound. Will Thornton makes it 1-1, and a little bit of luck there. Actually, something I don't think I've ever seen on any of the previous Football Managers, me personally anyway. Penalty coming back off the post like that, and a simple job for Thornton just to tap it into the other corner. It is 1-1. I was a bit sceptical when he stepped up to take the penalty, but at least it hit the back of the net eventually, as McClure now goes back to Collins. Gloucester will be looking to restore their lead as soon as possible. That ball into King, and it beat Cracknell, but it was only the post that kept it out. And like I say, it's just that worrying factor that every time the opposition seemed to shoot, they seemed to score. And like I say, in the game against Kings Lynn last time out, I think they had one shot on target and they scored it. That ball is to McClure, can bring it down, coming in field on his left foot, and he's just wide of the target. Great effort there, and simple Route 1 goal, football, that nearly created a goal. And it looks as if at half-time it's going to be 1-1, and we haven't been great today. And I think today is the time to move back to the gegenpress and hopefully put a little bit of pressure on the opposition. Let's have a look who's not playing particularly well. No one's playing particularly well, if I'm honest. We're just going to see what we can change and who we can bring in. Make 3 changes. I don't want to take Tyrese Onyeka off, because as bad of a game as he might be having, we know he's good for a goal. And if we can just get that goal as King score, I thought he scored then. He got up at the near post, won the header, the net rippled. It was the outside of the post though. And we're just hoping now that putting a bit more pressure on them can find us a second goal here. Draw wouldn't be the worst result in the world, but again, like I said, I knew I'd jinx it by saying it'd be the easier game of the episode, as that ball has gone. It's offside. I thought that had crossed the line, and I also thought the linesman was flagging to say it had gone across the line. Again, not ideal in the slightest. Let's not demand some more just yet. Let's just wait. That ball goes up. McClure, who's been very good for them today, it's into Plant now. Onyeka's between the defenders. Onyeka with a chance. He's missed the target, and I said if he had a chance he'd score, and he doesn't score it. And that, again, comes back to bite me in the arse. 6.1 he's playing. And did I make all 3 subs, or did I only make 2? I made 3, didn't I? I made all 3. Wondered whether I had a chance to make that one more sub. We haven't been as good today. Our XG's been better, but we haven't created as many chances as we normally do. We're normally the more dominant side, and whether that's a change in personnel or what, just not been a normal performance for us, as Hill's pass is cut out and then he wins it back and O'Sullivan nips in and wins it. Ball up top, sure there's a hint of offside there. Burton gets back though to win it, and it goes to Hill. Watson comes deep, and that's a poor ball, and Burton though nips in to win that. Onyeka doesn't challenge for it. Cadman tries to challenge for it. Ball over the top. Phillips, and the goalkeeper just came rushing out, got nowhere near it. And this last 10 minutes is really, really hectic here. Thornton looks towards Cadman now. It's poor again. We give the ball away once again. Ball fired over the top for Mitford. Kelly picks it up. Back to Cracknell, and he'll fire it long towards Plant. Plant's got to try and win this header, and he doesn't, but he gets to the ball first. Into Onyeka now. Onyeka, force wide, pulls it back for Plant. Hits a shot, and it... Do you know what I said in the last game? That I don't see the opposition goalkeepers making the same mistakes our goalkeepers make. Just seen one. Great goal from Plant. The power, we'll say the power beat the goalkeeper, but surely there was a little bit of a glitch there. Onyeka did well inside right channel, pulls it back to Plant, takes a touch, fires it, and nope, the goalkeeper just apparently didn't see the ball. It's 2-1. It's kind of what we needed, a little bit of luck, because we haven't had an awful lot of it in terms of goalkeepers so far in this save, and that is the first real bit we've had. And it puts us 2-1 up. Hopefully we don't throw that lead away straight away as that ball looks to go into the box. Burton collects it, gives it to Kelly, and it's fired long. Cadman picks up the loose header though. Cadman gives it forward to Tear. Tear's in behind the defence now on the left hand side. Tear... Oh! I don't know whether he dinked it or took a deflection. It looped up. Goalkeeper had to watch it, but comfortably hangs onto the ball. And it is 3 points that we probably didn't deserve today, although we finished with a 2.32 XG. No one really turned in a good performance. Plant with an 8, Thornton with a 7.3. Cracknell played a 7.3 as well, apparently, after that earlier, mistake, that not getting to that long range shot of McClure. But it's 3 more points. We didn't play very well, but I'm happy with the result. Everyone is delighted with that. And the league table looks like it's 5 points clear of Chester, who've got a game in hand over us. But if we could win that, if we could win our next game against Chester, and Chester don't win their game in hand, we could be 8 points clear at the top of the table. So we don't take on second place Chester. We take on third place Chester, who have 35 points. Kings Lynn, who must have won their game in hand, have gone to 36 points now. They are 4 points behind us. We have a chance to beat Chester, who are in third place, and go 8 points clear of them and open up a little bit of a gap there. All of the top 8 now are on 30 points plus. So there's 10 points between us and 8. So it's still really open this season on who's going to do what. The side for this game He's going to look like this. He's cracking in goal. Burton, Williams, Gouda and Kelly. Maloney and Hill in midfield. Bramall on the left. Colville on the right. And Glynn plays behind Tyrese Onyeka because Hassan Ayari is away on international duty with the Tunisian under-23s bench. Weleji, Lee, Petrovic, Ter and Coulson. I think I've made it a little bit more balanced today. We've got a right back, centre back or defensive midfielder, a left back defensive midfielder or central midfielder, someone who can play in all three positions in that sort of attacking midfield role, and then an attacking midfielder / striker. I think we're pretty balanced there. So let's get into it. It's going to be another tough game, but hopefully with our strongest 11 out there, minus Hassan Ayari, we can go and get another 3 points. We are underway here at the Flamingo Land Stadium. I was just thinking that we'd won every single game in this episode, but obviously we lost to Leamington first time out, who sit on 35 points now. We were in that mix there. A couple of teams within 6 points of the top of the table, as Bramall gives it back to Burton now. Gets towards the ball. Can he get the crossing with his left foot? Pulls it back to Maloney. Maloney moves on to his right foot. Towards Onyeka, who's hit the post. And it's cleared away. Kelly can claim that ball. But it was a great cross towards the far post. And Tyrese Onyeka probably should have hit the back of the net from there. But it's another game where we are controlling things. Chester haven't provided an awful lot just yet. Just one shot, nothing on target as Colville loses out there, but Glynn picks it up into Onyeka. Onyeka looks for Bramall on this left-hand side, doesn't find him, and Devine can clear it away. But Bailey Gouda wins that header. Maloney takes it down, over top for Onyeka. Is he onside? He hits the woodwork, he was offside. Flag went up really late there. 10 minutes to play to half-time, still 0-0. And no real good chances. Tyrese Onyeka had that header and the offside chance there. Nothing really shout out about. 1.37 XG. We've dominated on the stats, but all that matters is that it's still Scarborough Athletic 0, Chester 0. Glynn now, infield to Maloney. Maloney tries to get the crossing. I think he took a deflection there, and Thomas can pick it up on the edge of his own box, bringing it out now, coming a long way with it once again. Like in the game against, was it the game against Gloucester? I forget which game it was now. Hill picks up the ball, looks over the top for Kelly. Kelly pulls it back onto his left foot, manages to go past his man, hang on to it, and gives it to Colville. Colville into Maloney, switch ball towards Bramall, who gets there first. It's a great save by Tyra at point blank range, and it is still 0-0. Great chance here to open up this half, probably our best chance of the game as well. Lovely switch ball from right to left as Maloney puts the ball in and headed away by McAdam, and it is another corner kick over there on the far side. Once again, will be taken by Maloney. Right footed in swinger. Can he find a red shirt? He looks towards Bailey Gouda. Tyra clears it away, and Glynn can pick it up now under a bit of pressure. Gives it to Williams. Looks that switch ball out, and it's cut out by the defender Colton. Hill with space gives it to Maloney. Bramall now looks that ball long. It's a poor ball for Onyeka, and Teal can collect it. Gives it into Kenyon. Kenyon under a little bit of pressure has to go back to Teal. He fires it long, and Stevenson flicks it on, but there's no one running in behind him. And Bailey Gouda can lay infield to Harry Williams now. Really well done, nicely worked out. Again, Chester aren't really pressing us too much, allowing us to hang onto the ball in this area of the pitch, which is probably their prerogative actually. They don't want to waste too much energy, and Devine can bring it away now down towards our byline. Gets across in Stevenson arriving, and Bailey Goody gets there first. Ball put back in, and Williams has tripped Stevenson, and it's going to be a penalty kick. It was an off the ball incident, and it's a chance. Chester haven't had a shot on target. It's a chance to give them the lead in this game, and Did he though? Did he score? Devine gets the goal, apparently. It is 1-0 to Chester. That is... Okay, yep, that's in. Fair enough. Didn't look like it, but it's in. Devine makes it 1-0 to Chester. Going into the final 10 minutes now, we've made changes. Chester still only... Well, they've had one more shot on target since then as Bramall looks it for it across. Colville gets there. And I think that's the third time we've hit the woodwork today. And... you know, when you have a game where you just know you're going to lose, I think that is it today. Because, like I said, I think we've hit the woodwork 3 times. Chester, with their first shot on target, which was a penalty, got what is so far the only goal of the game. Colville looks online for Weleji now, who's been on the pitch about 10 minutes and already has a booking to his name. Hill with that ball over the top, and it's poor, and Coates can collect it and clear it away. But Weleji is going to bring that down now, and he'll switch out to the left-hand side, and Bramall. Coates flicks it away, picked up by Burton. His cross is poor as well, and it's cleared away. Gouda wins that header. Maloney is coming back at Chester every time, and that is a really poor choice of ball from Maloney. Just pick out the right pass there. Ball towards Thomas. Gouda has brought him down, and Bailey Gouda is going to get bought twice inside a minute. To really compound the misery here in this game, Bailey Gouda gets himself sent off, and yeah, that's that, I think, it's so disappointing. I don't even know. There's not even a lot you can do to sort of compensate for it. It's just one of them games, and it looks as if with 90 seconds to play, we may not get anything from this game against Chester, which we thoroughly deserve, by the way. We've been by far the better team. That ball's into Colvin. Is it on? Sums it up. Absolutely sums it up. And we have, what, 35 seconds left to play. McAdam wins ahead in there. Weeks into Lynch with his back to goal. Has to go back to the goal, to the defender Teal, sorry. Weeks into Stevenson again. Looks out to the left side of Colton. They'll have a lot of space on those flanks. Lynch now. Lovely play to Colton, who's in behind. Pull back for Lynch. There's about 8 seconds left. McAdam, well, Edgy intercepts it though. Maloney looks for Bramwell. Is there chance for a goal? Coulson brings it over halfway. Surely this is more than just an end of game highlight, because I don't think they exist anymore. Ball over the top. Can Tay get there first? Edward tucks it away, and it is just going to be an end of game highlight. And Chester have come here and stolen a 1-0 victory here. 2 shots on target. One of them was a penalty, which I'm not even sure went in. And the full-time whistle is in a minute. There it is. Scarborough Athletic 0, Chester 1. We didn't deserve to win it, but I don't think we deserve to lose it as well. Unlucky boys, it was nice to have won that, but it wasn't to be. The league table looks like this. 40 points from 20 games, 38 for Chester, who are 2 points behind us now. And we'll just have a quick look when we're going to come back for in the next episode. Like I said, we're going to play through a lot of games now, probably through to the January, maybe February period, maybe Kidderminster, Farsley, Spenamore around that time in February. So it'll be a long time before we come back now. But if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next time for episode 5, where hopefully we can be in a strong position come the new year.